I'm super excited to have you on our daily show. And I have to say, actually, last time we saw each other, it might have been Paris last year on one of the
Yeah,
practice courts, right?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So, how sad is it not to be there this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sad for a lot of people. I mean, the French is such a special tournament for so many people. Obviously, for me, because of '89, I have so much, so many great memories there. Not only playing, but now, going back there, playing the Champions event and coaching Kay. Obviously, so much has changed. They've done so many wonderful things. Since '89, obviously everything has changed. The stadiums, the locker rooms, the restaurants. Now, I think they're done with the retractable roof now. So, so much has expanded and become bigger and better. It's just a phenomenal event to always be at. So.
Coaching, playing legends, being a player yourself, did you enjoy the most, or what do you enjoy the most? Can you compare it?
I think I enjoy different aspects of it. I don't know, but I always feel like when I go play clay events, if it's in the U.S., obviously it's different because we play mostly on green clay. But I feel like when we go to play in Europe, the clay is different. If you go to Germany, the clay is a little on the slower side. If you go to Italy, like Rome, the clay is a little bit slower. The texture is always a little bit different. For some reason, I feel like the clay in Paris is just, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased, but it's like just right. It's the right kind of speed. It's the right kind of bounce. It's the right kind of slide. It's not too much clay, but it's not like too little. And then the courts are always like big, so there's a lot of places to move, especially center court. I feel like when I'm on center court, I feel like I don't have to worry about ever running into anything, the backdrop or anything like that. I always feel like if I played at like Wimbledon, for example, although it's a very intimate court, it's a very kind of different feeling court. I felt like if I went running for an on-the-run forehand, I'd always feel like I'd have to kind of take small steps on the side to make sure I don't slip where the concrete is, But I never had to worry about that with the French Open. It's just a great feeling to be there, and I'm always welcome there. I'm not French, obviously, but every time I go there, I feel like the staff, the federation, I feel like they treat me as if I'm one of their own. And so obviously, whenever you get treated like that, it's always a very special feeling to go back.
So we could almost say that it tastes just like the French wine. That is the best taste there, the clay.
It could be. I actually don't drink, but I think that,
Me
yeah.
neither. I don't know why I said it, but you talked about it so passionately that I thought, okay, maybe the wine could be the same. Same.
But I think it's almost hard to not talk about the French Open and not be passionate about it, because I think of all of the Grand Slams. You take for instance like the Australian Open. It's very kickback. It's very relaxed. People having fun. You take the U.S. Open. It's busy. It's exciting. It's hectic. It's late night. Wimbledon is very traditional. But when you talk about the French Open, it's very passionate. It's very emotional. They've always liked people that showed emotion. They want to know what you're feeling. And if you show your emotion, I think they actually appreciate it even more. And I think that's one of the reasons why they really embrace players like John McEnroe, for example. Obviously, if they don't like what you're doing, if you question a call, they will certainly let you know. But at the same time, I mean, if you're down in a match and they get behind you, they could literally almost, cheer you on and almost push you on to winning, to winning that match. So, I've always had that sense, and it's always been a very emotional, very passionate tournament.
How special is it to be able to now these days bring your family back and show your kids what you've been able to achieve in Paris?
Yeah, I don't know if they all understand. I think for sure my oldest understands. Lonnie understands. She's 9 years old now. She's been traveling. Well, they've all been traveling. They're all world travelers now because they often would come with me to a lot of different places, because I'm working with Kay, and, we made an effort to try to always keep the family together. We could kind of do it obviously with their young age. Now, obviously it's a little bit more difficult because they have school. But my oldest plays tennis too. So she will actually come and sit with me, and Amber, in the player's box, and we'll literally watch an entire match of Kay's. She'll sit there for 4 hours if the match goes 4 hours, and she will, really understand everything that's going on. And which I think for me as a father, raising a tennis player, I feel like is a wonderful thing, because I can't really teach some of the things that you can learn when you watch a tennis match in person. I always tell people, I say, well, if you have the opportunity to go watch a tennis match in person, do it. It's great on TV, but when you watch a match in person, you see the speed, you see the spin, you see the power, you see the construction of points and everything. You see the emotion of the players, how they handle their ups and how they handle their downs. It's a very different ball game, and you come to appreciate the sport even more.
Did you write notes about your opponents? That's what I used to do. We didn't have the technology.
I did. I wrote many notes. In fact, I did it very early on, and I still have actually some of my books. They're all the binding is all broken and falling apart. But yeah, I would have pages on different players. What worked, what didn't work. And like I said, it was important to me, because you can't remember everything. There's no way you can remember everything. But if you write it down, for me at least, it helped me to recall some of those matches that I've done well, and help me to not make the same mistakes. If I'm playing a certain player and I'm constantly losing, I'm constantly playing the same way, what's the purpose for me to go out and play the same way? Because I'm going to lose again. So, so it's important for me to know all of those things. And then, if I lose a match, I can go back and work on some of the aspects in my game that, maybe didn't perform that well that day, that helped my opponent beat me. So, and in turn, I become a better and smarter player.
Michael, I cannot wait, but this is my most favorite part that I'm looking forward to. Let's go to 89. I know it's impossible, but if you can pick the memory that always comes to you first when you come back to Paris, that was the most special moment of that year.
I think it made me even more of a fighter for the rest of my career, because I had a reputation after that to not give up in matches, and it taught me a lot. I was very, very close to actually defaulting my match with Yvonne Lendl in the round of 16, because I was cramping so bad. I don't know. Obviously, I went into the tournament not thinking that I could win the tournament. It was just something that I will never forget. And certainly, like I said, the lessons that I learned during that period of time, I realized that, if ever I'm in a situation where, I have difficulties or I have trials, I have a choice. Do I want to give up? Or do I want to persevere and see it through, and knowing that sometimes great things happen, and I feel like in many aspects, I'm a great example of what can happen when you don't give up, and for me, I feel like it's a tournament that God wanted me to win and allowed me to win when. Certainly there were a couple of matches that I had no business winning. One was the match with Lendl, and then the other match was with Stefan. I shouldn't have won that match either, but somehow he pulled me through.
Would you say Roland-Garros has been part of your life ever since that 89 till today?
Absolutely. Obviously it's not something that I think about every single day. I'm not going up to my trophy and saying, oh, but it is something that people do. It's actually really kind of scary how many times people actually come up to me and say, well, either I saw the matches or I was there in Paris, and I'll see them like some random place around the world, and I'm like, come on, you're really there in Paris, like on center court watching? I mean, come on. I think it's defined my career in many, many aspects. I mean, obviously I've had a lot of other highlights. And I've often told people, I said, well, even if I were to win another Grand Slam, I got very close. I've got three other finals. If I had won another Grand Slam, I don't think it would have still compared with the '89 French Open.
Michael, very last question about Paris in general. When you come back now with your family, what are the things you love to do the most when you get back to the city?
We do a lot of fun things. You know, we've taken them to different parks to play on some of the rides. Obviously, I'm out there playing on with tennis with Lonnie on the courts, which is really exciting for her. I think for her to have the opportunity, I'll sneak her out on some of the show courts really early, and they're kind enough to allow us to get out there sometimes. And then just, there's just so many things to enjoy about Paris. I mean, even just simple things, going and getting ice cream, going and walking around, and all the things obviously that Paris is known for. It's a great time for us. And, like I said, it's a little bit, hopefully, the French Open will happen this year. Obviously it's not happening in the time that it usually does. But I hope that it does happen this year, and we can all get back to enjoying tennis in Paris like we always do.
Michael, thank you so much for your time, and it was such
absolutely.
an honor for me personally to be able to talk to you, and I hope to see you very, very soon in Paris in person.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Big hugs to the family as well.
Alrighty, we'll do. All right,
Bye,
you take good care. Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Thanks.